Hello, hello! In this video today, I will be going through 10 ways to learn English fast. Number 1, be consistent, not perfect. So this is a very common downfall for many people that are trying to learn English. They focus so much on being perfect and they are scared to make any kind of mistakes. However, this actually takes away from your learning. If you are so scared to speak because you don't want to make any kind of mistake, then you're not going to practice or learn from them. We actually learn from our mistakes, so it's a good thing to make mistakes when learning something new, because then you can correct that mistake and now you know for next time so you don't make that mistake again. So being consistent and not perfect, that's exactly what that means. Consistency just means that you have a daily routine of practice. So it's not just once a month that you take out the English book, right? We are consistently practicing, learning, and trying to use the language in our everyday lives, whatever we are doing. Number 2, learn topic-based vocabulary rather than just random words. So what this means is that you are focusing on one singular topic, and then within that topic you can make it a goal to learn 5 or 10 new vocabulary words that are related to that topic. So the best way to do this is to choose a topic that you already like. So for example, sports. I am interested in sports, I like to play sports, so I can choose this topic of sports, and then I can learn maybe 5 new vocabulary words that have to do with different kinds of sports or playing sports. So this is a good goal because then you do not become overwhelmed with all of these random vocabulary words. It's a good way to organize the ideas and vocabulary words that you end up learning, instead of just having a huge list. Again, we look at this and we are overwhelmed. It's too much. So we want to make sure we have these organized categories that are by topic. So then this will help you to improve, especially if it's a topic that you do not know any information about. Then you can choose one of these topics too and make sure that you have some basic vocabulary in relation to that one too. Number 3, watch English TV shows with subtitles. So these subtitles, obviously they will be in whatever language is your native language, whatever language you are comfortable with. So you would have the subtitles and then you're listening to the English being spoken at the same time. So this helps in multiple ways. Number 1, it helps with conversational English skills. So many of these TV shows, for example, Friends, right? If we watch the show, a lot of the conversation is just between these friends, these people. So if you watch these kind of TV shows, then you will learn a lot and be able to practice the conversational English skills, which are extremely important. And as an added bonus, you also learn about the culture. So we get cultural understanding, we get our English conversational practice as well, and we have the understanding of both languages together. You have your native language as the subtitles that you can read if you cannot understand the English being spoken, so then you can go back and forth between the 2 languages as well. So watching TV shows is actually very, very, very useful and helpful for many people. So you might not think it's very academic, we just watch TV, but it actually really can help a lot. Number 4, read out loud. So when we are reading books or magazines, most of us just read in our head, right? So we will not actually say the words out loud. But this does not actually help us with our reading skills. And also, you will hear the pronunciation a lot more, obviously, when you're saying the words out loud compared to saying them in your head. So when you are reading, practice reading out loud. Say the words out loud. This helps with practicing pronunciation. It helps with the flow of speaking too, right? It helps with so many different things, and you get to have more exposure to the vocabulary, to the grammar structures that we use as well. Reading is extremely beneficial, but it is even more beneficial when we read the words out loud, especially when you are learning this language. Number 5, keep a daily English journal. So, the importance of doing this obviously is focused on our writing skills. And again, it's very important to make it into a daily habit, a daily routine of writing a little bit in this journal every single day. And if we do this, then our writing skills will eventually improve. So you can use this in different ways depending on your level. If you are at the beginner level with English, you can just write down some vocabulary words that you notice or new grammar structures, just a sentence here or there, just to continuously practice. However, if you are on the more advanced level with your English ability, then you can just use it as a proper journal. So people do this every day, even if they already know English. They just like to write down what they do on a day-to-day basis. So if you have enough writing ability so that you are comfortable writing about your day-to-day life, then you can use the journal in this way too. Both ways help to improve your writing skills, just depending on whatever level you are currently at. So please go out and buy yourselves a little notebook or some kind of journal and make it into your daily routine so that you are consistently practicing writing skills as well. Number 6, focus on key grammar structures. So again, the whole point of learning is not to feel overwhelmed. We don't want to feel like, oh, it's too much, it's too hard, I can't do it. So this helps to eliminate that kind of pressure if we just focus on the key specific grammar structures that we need to learn the most or that we are using the most. So what I mean by this as an example, if you are using present simple tense when you speak the most, then you should focus on this singular tense. There's no need to go to the past perfect continuous and start to study that, right? We should just go one by one, step by step, instead of trying to learn all the different grammar structures at once. It is way too many, even for me as a teacher. It's too much to look at. So you need to really organize exactly what kind of grammar structure you need to learn for whatever you are doing in your life. Obviously, the main goal is to know all of the grammar structures eventually at some point, but it is very difficult to do this because there are so many. So we should just focus on the key grammar structure step by step instead of looking at grammar as a big picture. Number 7, join an online English conversation club or group. Again, we live in an era today where there's so many available resources for free online that you guys can use. So, of course, not all of the online forums are helpful, but there are definitely some that are useful in learning English. So, if you are struggling to find people to speak English with or to practice with, you don't really have a community where you can practice this, then the next best thing is to get onto a Facebook forum or some kind of online group where you can practice with these people. Number 8, learn in context, not only isolation. So what I mean by this is that when you are learning new vocabulary words, for example, you should not just memorize the word You need to memorize the word and know how to actually use it in the sentence or in a particular context. So if I have all of these vocabulary words in my brain, but I do not actually know how to use them in the sentence, it's pretty useless, right? So you really need to not only learn the vocabulary, but put it into some kind of context. Put it into a sentence. Make it make sense for you. How can you relate to this word in your day-to-day life? In your real world, how does this word relate to you? This will make the word stick in our brain more as well, easier to remember if we can relate it back to something in our real life, and it will help the general understanding of that word too. Number 9, imitate native English speakers. So this might sound pretty obvious as a good way to learn how to speak, but of course you should choose, maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite teachers who post videos on YouTube or Facebook pages or wherever, right? And try to imitate the way they speak, the intonation, the ups and downs as I'm talking. I don't talk in the flat voice like a robot, right? All of the gestures that I make, the way that I speak, the words I stress, the words I don't stress, all of these things are very, very helpful for people who are trying to learn that language. And again, you want to sound and seem as natural as possible. So it's not about robotic perfection. It's about sounding natural. And finally, number 10. Use English at work, at school, as much as you possibly can. Really try to immerse yourself in English all around you as much as possible. So, of course, I know a lot of you live in countries where English is not the first language. So maybe it's not so easy to listen to English on a daily basis or to be able to practice, right? So we need to make sure that you incorporate English somehow into your daily life. This will really, really help you to learn English fast, right? If we only learn once a week or twice a week, it is not enough. You need to be using it every single day. If you use it every single day, if you practice every single day, then this is the fastest, most efficient, and most successful way to learn a new language. It's a lot of work, and that's why people think it's so hard, but it is not supposed to be easy to learn a new language. It is hard. It is a lot of work. So to be able to do this, you have to be okay with putting in the work that is necessary. It does not just happen magically, unless you were born in a native English-speaking country. But even for me, right? I was born in Canada. I learned English all the way up until high school, and then in university, I also studied English literature. So, even for me, I've studied English for many, many, many years. There you have it. Those are my top 10 tips for how to learn English as fast as we possibly can. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.